mukta. Do you have a question on this subject?
Yes, thank you. I don't have a doubt that I really believe in self exist beyond this body, before this body came into existence and after this body leaves. But is there a way to know or experience that while being alive in this body, like I existed before, and I'm going to exist after, other than as a concept?
Why do we think we are in this body? Because we have risen as ego and we have identified I am this body. So we seem to be something within, either we talk at the same time as this body as I am sitting, I am walking, I am talking, all these are referring to the body. But at the same time, we think of ourselves as some thinking mind inside the body. So our understanding of ourselves is confused. But are we within this body? So long as we rise as ego, we seem to be within this body. But the whole point of Bhagavan's teachings, we need to investigate ourselves to find out what we actually are. If we find out what we actually are, we will find out that we were never limited to this body. And that is true surrender. That is when the removal of the eradication of ego alone is surrender. And we can eradicate the ego, because what is ego? Ego is nothing but a false awareness of ourself. Awareness of ourself as something other than what we actually are. So how can we remove the false awareness? The snake is a misperception of the rope. So how can we remove that misperception? The only way to remove the misperception is to perceive the rope as it is. So if we look carefully at the snake, what do we see? Oh, it's not a snake, it's only a rope. Likewise, if we look carefully at this I, but now seems to be ego, but now is aware of itself as I am mukta, I am confined within the limits of this body. If we look carefully at that I, we will see that that I is not the ego that it now seems to be. It is the infinite whole. So then the adjuncts, once we clearly see ourselves as we actually are, the adjuncts, namely the person we now take ourselves to be, Mukta or Michael or whoever, the adjuncts will drop off and the pure I alone will remain. That pure I is what we always actually are. That is the one infinite whole.
Thank you so much.
So once we know ourselves as we actually are, we are no longer within the body. Even now we are not within this body. We seem to be within this body because we have limited ourselves by rising as ego. We've limited ourselves with, as Bhagavan said, that one thing I rises as to the extent of the body. So we've limited ourselves within the extent of this body. This body has an extent in space. This body is here, it's not here. So it's limited in space. It's limited in time. It was born a few years earlier. It's going to die a few years hence, or a few days, or a few minutes hence. We don't know. So it's limited. This body that we now take ourselves to be is limited in time and space. But are we limited? We seem to be limited because we take ourselves to this body, but actually we are not limited. In an earlier version of verse 16 of Uludunapadu, Bhagavan expressed it very nicely. He said, if we are a body, we will be swallowed by time and space. If we are not the body, if we know ourselves as we actually are, we who have swallowed time and space alone will remain. So we have a choice. Are we to be swallowed by time and space, or are we to swallow time and space? If we want to swallow time and space, we need to know ourselves as we actually are, because what we actually are is ever unlimited by time and space.